Hey there everybody, redxparasite here, and welcome back to Let's Play Metroid Prime 3. In the last episode we started exploring Brio, and we got ourselves the grapple swing, and we encountered these Reptilicus hunters for the first time. So, if you shoot them off the cliff, they will just die instantly. Although we didn't get to see that happen. But we're back here in kind of the main hub area, at least for this kind of region of Brio. And now that we have the grapple swing, we can actually make some progress towards the Down Federation ship to get a little bit more info about the area. So, just got some frozen stuff here, which is actually evidence that Rundus has been here, you know, because he did have the power to be able to freeze things. So I'm gonna, nope. Okay, let's see. Dang it! See, they activated before I was actually within range to scan them, and by the time that they came down and were flying at me, I was not able to lock onto them at all. Well, we're just gonna have to try again. Once you get the grapple beam, I believe you can get the scan point for the hooks. So I'm not sure if does that count for anything? I guess it doesn't. But it is part of your logbook, I believe. So the door into this area will be locked. So we're gonna have to get in through the back door, which is we can't actually go any farther in that direction right now. So there's a new enemy in here. That is not the new enemy. This is. So it is called an atomic. This is similar to the pulse bamboos in the previous games, or I think there were like Serenity class drones in Prime 2. But it's pretty much the same enemy. Corporeal energy that sloughs explosive segments of its form. Atomics are creatures composed entirely of energy. A strong energy blast is adequate to destabilize the atomic and cause it to explode. They are sustained by their core, which generates a constant supply of electricity. When an abundance of energy has been produced, an atomic will discharge a section of its body in the form of an explosive projectile. When near sources of energy of opposite polarization, the atomic will respond aggressively. So, like they did in previous games, if you use the charge beam, it will attract them. There's really not much else you can do except just kind of space around it. Once you destroy those locks, you will free up this panel. I'm standing a little too close to it, and so these are basically circuit breakers that we need to connect again to get the power back online. So just pull them with your grapple lasso. Once you get all of them in place, things will start, coming back to life. So we pull this, twist, and push back in. This will get us the map for this area. So it's not a conventional map station, but does the same thing. So if we zoom out here, you can see that unlike in the previous games, they're actually disjoint areas. So in the previous games, everything was connected, through elevators. Maybe not every region was connected to every other region, but, the entire map was connected in some way. In this game, that is not the case. So you can see one of the other landing sites here. This is the Thorn Jungle Air Dock. If you go out to the planet level, these two areas are connected, but this one is not connected to either of them. So you will have to go back to your ship in certain cases to get to a certain area.
Samus, The satellite data has revealed two distinct energy signatures. They must be supplying power to the seed shield. If these targets are eliminated, the shield will be removed. We are uploading the location of each energy signature and nearby landing sites.
Okay, so we did see that shield protecting the seed when we came in. Now, there's nothing we can do to go any farther this way, so we're going to have to backtrack for now. So, I seem to have a terrible time avoiding that guy, but we're going to have to make our way to one of the other landing sites, and it would appear that the shriek bats are not back yet. Now, you want to go back into this morph ball tunnel because now that the power's back on, we can actually go farther. So it is going to be dangerous, so obviously don't go in any of those areas when the power's on. But yeah, pretty much just be patient. So you're going to have to jump over this. This will lead you to the top of this particular area, and there's a new enemy up here. This is a Gragnol adult. Resistant to most weaponry, physical stress can destroy it. The large tail that characterizes Gragnol adults is also their weakness. If pulled with enough force, it will tear them apart. An explosive blast will temporarily incapacitate them, making them easier to target. They possess the ability to generate an energy shield around their bodies, preventing beam shots from damaging them. They are cunning predators flying through their turf in search of unwary prey. They use bursts of phazon energy to overwhelm their targets and then swoop down to finish them. Maturity has provided them with a very durable exoskeleton. So, your strategy to beat these guys is going to be using the grapple lasso on them. The only downside is that you can't move while you're using the grapple lasso. Ooh. So you will be kind of stuck in place while using it. So if there are multiple ones of them, then you may get hit a little, but they don't do too much damage, so it's not much of a problem. So, now that we have the map data and we know where the other sites are, there's nothing left for us to do except go to the other landing sites. So, that's the Chakram attack, and they like jumping around too. The Reptilicus hunters can also teleport, you know, that's fair. So, we'll just take them out there. Oh, let's see. You guys are new? Yeah, you're new. Okay. Don't leave. These are regular night barbs. That generates protective energy field. Contact with field is dangerous. Night barbs are predators traveling in packs to search for prey. They have the ability to generate a protective field of energy around their bodies. The ability is unstable, however. If the field makes contact with another life force, it will overload. This also consumes the life force of the night barb, much like a bee's sting ends its life. So, those guys can be a little bit difficult to get a scan of because they just fly through within the day. They don't come back, so... Okay, so we're gonna head back across this bridge so we can get to our ship. But, of course, not without some kind of resistance. So, with these guys, you're only going to scan them first, of course, because they are new. These are alpha hoppers. Spits venom at prey from a distance, uses talons in close-range battle. Alpha hoppers are characterized by their unique color and durable hide. They are highly territorial and will attack any creature who wanders too close to their nests. When hunting in packs, they will often keep their distance while others move in to attack at close range. Like all hoppers, their legs end in sharp talons and can be used to shred through any prey that gets close enough. Okay, so for this fight, you can try to defeat these guys normally, but the game will actually keep respawning them until you go into hyper mode here. So in this case, I'm actually going to use hyper mode to speed this up a little bit. And you can see hyper mode kind of destroys things. So let's see, I'm going to get back out of it now to conserve some health. And let's see, did it turn me around? Looks like it did actually, because the way back to our ship is this way. So, yep, hyper mode is good. So, you know, maybe I should try to use it every so often in normal combat. But now that we have that situation cleared, we'll be back at our ship. So you actually have a choice of what you can, what you want to do next here. There are 2 docks that you can go to. Now, I believe, I'm not sure if there's an intended order here or not, because I usually just do one of them first. So I've never really tried going to the other area first. At least I don't most of the time. So I'll just follow my usual order here. So we're gonna head to the fiery air dock first. We also don't have the map for that area either. So you can skip the leaving and landing, so the taking off and landing cutscenes. This one you can't skip because it's loading, but I will try to make sure that I at least show these off once. And then, you know, if we have to come back for repeat visits, which we will, then I can skip them at that point because we'll already have seen them. So, welcome to the kind of fiery section of Brio. I know I was talking about how this game kind of avoids those, but they do have a little bit of theming to some of these areas. So this is Rundus's ship, and the engines are still warm, which means looks like it was piloted and landed here not too long ago. So this is the substance that I mentioned when we first arrived here on Brio. This is fuel gel. It's also come up in some of the other scans that we've seen, like the ones about the Galactic Federation's ships that run on it. So, substance is highly volatile. Contact with gel can cause damage. Fuel gel is used to power most modern starships in the cosmos. It is extremely rare, and worlds that produce it tend to be quite prosperous. The exception to this is planet Brio, a Federation protectorate, and the largest supplier of fuel gel. Proceeds from Brionian gel sales go directly to the Federation military forces protecting that sector of space. The sheer value of fuel gel is very attractive and has led to an uprise in piracy over the last 20 years. Today, raids on gel transport convoys are common, especially in frontier regions of space. The Galactic Federation has increased anti-piracy operations, and planets with fuel gel resources are protected by Federation fleets and ground forces. So, what I do like about this area is, yes, it's, you know, kind of your standard fire area. At least it seems that way on the surface, but it's really more of a fuel gel area than it is a standard fire area. So, you know, case in point being, there are going to be some things that we can activate by shooting fuel gel in order to ignite stuff. So these are pretty clever. And by the way, don't stand in fuel gel, it will hurt you. And it actually saps your health fairly quickly, so yet another reason to avoid it. So, once we walk through this door, we're going to walk into the main kind of hub area of Fiery Brio here. Got some more Reptilicus hunters. Oh, he's gonna teleport. Try to teleport behind me, you sneaky. Okay, so now that we've got them dispatched, we've got a lot of stuff to do in this room, and we're not going to be able to do all that much with most of it yet. So you can see there's some fuel gel pumps and other infrastructure here. This is processing chamber. Let's see what else do we have to scan. So this exhaust pipe is badly damaged. There's another statue. Okay. So the room that we're going to want to head towards is this one here on the left. Now, there's a puzzle that you're supposed to solve here by shooting these two to flip the platform up, but you can just jump up onto this little kind of crossbar that supports it, and I am not joking, you can actually stand on this without falling off. I'm just doing a very bad job. Okay. This isn't something that they changed, right? There we go. See? It's not that hard. I think you just have to hold against it so you don't slide off. So you can actually get away with not doing this puzzle if you don't feel like it. So we have another lore entry. This is the Age of Schism. In time, the wonders of science were not enough for those who held the primal traditions in their hearts. The warnings of the Chozo to seek balance between the old and new ways were not heeded by the lords of science, myself included. We forged on, ignorant of the rage in the hearts of the primals. The time came when Smethus, the first lord of science, denounced the primals and their traditions in the center of the royal city. It was as a flame to a dry forest. The age of science was ended, and the age of schism was born. Okay, so I think that's all we can do. Yep. So we're gonna head into this tunnel. We have some more. I'm already forgetting what these are called. I know it started with an S, and I know I also have a terrible memory for this, but there are two tunnels here on the left. If you want to get a missile expansion, you're going to want to head up to the higher of the two. To roll down it, it's just down at the end of the tunnel. And the nice thing about getting the missile expansion is once we roll back out to the ledge, if you lay a morpho bomb, this plant will kind of wither away temporarily, and you can just drop down to this ledge, which is the way forward. So, got some ice here. We can't do anything about it, so we'll just move on. This way, there is an elevator. Just pull this down, and it'll activate. Again, they're trying to rope in, as many of the motion controls as they can here, because in previous games it's just like, oh, scan this and walk into the hologram, but this game has to do things a little bit differently. So, oh, I guess I must not have scanned these the first time that we saw them. So these are hoppers. I know we've seen them before, like the regular hoppers, and not the alpha ones. But the attack with razor-sharp talons pounces from a distance. These aggressive insectoids use small hops to get within striking distance and then pounce, using their talons to tear away at their prey. From a distance, they will fire bursts of venom at their target. Despite their aggressive nature, they are somewhat fragile and can be easily dispatched. Because of this, they will commonly hunt in packs. So, we're going to take these out. They're blocking our way, and this one's actually being surprisingly resilient. For what their scan indicated. So we have another Phazon Vine here, so only one thing to do. Well, this is not good. So this scene here is scripted. There's nothing you can do to avoid it. The game forces you to go into hyper mode, of course.
Samus, we just received very abnormal readings from your life support systems. Are you okay? As a precaution, we are downloading the diagnostic data from your suit to further analyze this situation. We will contact you again if we have any more information.
Okay, so, fun fact, in Prime 3 and only in Prime 3, if there are places where there's, like, Phazon, you can actually get a health recharge from it, you know, because of the PED suit. The way that it works is that you're injecting an energy tank when you activate it, so you can also draw in energy from Phazon. But what happened there is basically our suit kind of overreacted to the Phazon in our body. And that's actually a mechanic that will stick through hyper mode throughout the rest of the game. So if you wait long enough, and I believe this is 25 seconds, you'll go into that red state where the Phazon will just keep filling up the gauge in hyper mode, so it'll keep filling up. If you get to the maximum part of the gauge and you don't, get rid of the Phazon by firing it, you will die. Just like straight up, you will die. It doesn't matter what, how much health you had. It is worth noting that, while you're invincible during hyper mode normally, getting hit while, you're in that kind of red state will increase the gauge. So if you get hit too much, then, obviously that will kill you then. So, now that we've seen that cutscene and I've told you about that mechanic, I think this is a good place to end off this episode. So thank you very much for watching. I've been redxparasite, signing out.